Before the clock even hits 10 seconds, before the judges finish their first glance, before anyone in the audience understands what's happening, the room changes forever. If this moment moves you even half as much as it moved everyone inside that theater, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to be shared, remembered, and felt together. He stands alone at the center of the massive stage, lights too bright, hands slightly shaking, heart pounding louder than the murmurs of the crowd. His name is Miguel Reyes, a 26-year-old Filipino delivery driver who has spent most of his life singing to cracked mirrors, quiet streets, and the memories of a father who believed in him long before the world ever would. The America's Got Talent logo blows behind him like a challenge, and in front of him sit the judges famous, powerful, and impossible to impress. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, arms crossed, expression unreadable. Miguel swallows hard. He knows this is his one shot. Miguel's journey to this stage didn't begin with applause. It began in a small, crowded home in Quezon City, where electricity cuts were common and dreams felt like luxuries. His father used to play old Elvis Presley songs on a battered radio, the sound crackling but magical. Those songs filled the room with hope when money was tight and the future uncertain. As a child, Miguel would stand on a wooden stool, gripping a broken hairbrush like a microphone, copying every move, every note, every ounce of emotion Elvis poured into his voice. His father would clap and laugh, calling him "my little Elvis," even when the neighbors complained. Life, however, doesn't always sing back. When Miguel was 17, his father passed away suddenly. The music stopped. Miguel quit school to support his family, taking whatever jobs he could find. Singing became something he only did late at night, quietly, so no one would hear the pain in his voice. Years passed. Dreams faded. But one thing never disappeared, the feeling that when he sang, especially those old Elvis songs, he wasn't alone. When Miguel saw an online post about AGT auditions, he almost scrolled past it. America felt too far away. The dream felt too big. But his mother, who had quietly watched him carry the weight of responsibility for years, placed her hand over his phone and said, "Your father would have gone." That was all it took. Now, standing on this stage thousands of miles from home, Miguel introduces himself in a soft, respectful voice. Some audience members smile politely. Others look uncertain. A Filipino Elvis impersonator? Simon raises an eyebrow, the kind that has ended countless auditions in seconds. Miguel can feel it, the skepticism, the doubt, the silent countdown before rejection. The music starts. For a brief moment, nothing happens. Then Miguel sings. The first note is raw, deep, and hauntingly familiar. Not an imitation, not a joke, but a voice filled with soul, control, and ache. It's Elvis, but it's also something entirely new. In just a few seconds, the audience goes silent. 10 seconds in, Simon's posture changes. He leans forward. His eyes widen just a fraction. The crossed arms slowly unfold. Miguel's voice doesn't just fill the room, it tells a story. Every lyric carries years of struggle, loss, and perseverance. His movements are subtle, respectful, never exaggerated. He isn't trying to copy Elvis, he's channeling the spirit of a man who once sang his way out of poverty and into history. The crowd begins to feel it. You can see people holding their breath, some wiping their eyes, others whispering, "Oh my God." When the song ends, there's a heartbeat of silence. Then the theater explodes. The audience rises to their feet in a standing ovation that feels less like applause and more like gratitude. Miguel stands frozen, unsure if what he's hearing is real. Tears well in his eyes. On the judges' panel, something rare happens. Simon Cowell doesn't speak. He just stares, stunned, searching for words that don't come easily to him. Finally, Simon clears his throat and says, "I wasn't expecting that. At all." He pauses, then smiles. That was incredible. Miguel breaks down. Years of doubt collapse into that single moment of validation. The other judges praise not just his voice, but his authenticity, his restraint, his heart. They talk about how difficult it is to honor a legend without becoming a parody, and how Miguel did exactly that. But the story doesn't end with applause. Behind the scenes, the pressure only grows. Online comments pour in, some supportive, others cruel. Critics accuse him of writing on Elvis's legacy. Miguel struggles with fear, wondering if he truly deserves this chance. One night, alone in his hotel room, he almost quits. He stares at his phone, reading messages from home. His mother sends a simple voice note: "Sing like you did when you were a boy. Sing like your father is listening." So he does. Each round, Miguel evolves. He blends Elvis's style with his own story, his Filipino roots, his lived experiences. He sings about love, loss, and resilience. The audience doesn't just hear him, they connect with him. Simon, once the toughest critic, becomes one of his strongest supporters, openly admitting that Miguel reminded him why music matters. Whether Miguel wins the competition or not almost becomes irrelevant. What matters is the message he leaves behind, that talent can come from anywhere, that dreams don't expire, and that sometimes, 10 seconds is all it takes to change a life. In the final performance, Miguel looks straight into the camera, his voice steady, his heart open. He sings not for the judges, not for the votes, but for the boy with a broken hairbrush, for the father who believed, and for everyone watching who's ever been told they're too late, too different, or not enough. As the final note fades, the audience stands once more. Simon applauds without hesitation. And somewhere, beyond the lights and the noise, a dream that once lived in silence finally sings out loud. If this story inspired you, moved you, or reminded you to never give up on your dream, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring more powerful stories like this to life, and you never know, the next one might be yours.